Right now I'm on sketchpad and we were just learning about horizontal, vertical lines, diagonal lines, many different forms of lines and how they affect art. So now we are going to make our own lines, and I'm going to create an artwork that a lot of artists have done, and they created it by using line after line after line after line. It takes some time. I'm going to start building, and I am going to first create, because I can have very thick lines, I'm going to use the rectangle tool, because believe it or not, it makes thick and thin lines. And I am also going to take the outline off. We don't need that. And I'm going to start with blue. I've actually done some similar art to this, like digital art that I used for a catalog one time. So when I go on the actual canvas, you can see I left the grid up that is the usual one that is the one that when you open up sketchpad it comes on, because I wanted to just use the grid. It's just easier for me to do, but you can use white if you want to. So as you can see, this is a very thick line and it's horizontal. So now I'm going to change the color and make sure that every color is different that's next to your next line. So I'm going to go to the side here, and I'm going to have to push up again. That gray area is not the canvas. So only the checkered area is the canvas. So I have this really neat hot pink, and I'm going to make this a way thinner line. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on going down using a different color each time with different horizontal thicknesses in lines. So this was quite thin compared to this blue thicker line that's a medium line. Now if I try and I click and I change the color, make sure you change the color each time. That changed the actual color. So I'm going to go to the select tool. Sometimes if it changes something that you did previously, just hit the select. All right, so I'm going to use something bright orange. And I can even start here if I want to see what I'm doing. And you can move these corners. So I am going to make quite a thicker line. So there's the thick line right there. And now I'm going to make even thinner lines. So I want a nice variety, a nice scale, different scales and proportion. We learned proportion and scale in the art fundamentals in the past lesson. And now we're learning about just line. We're focusing in on how we could do art with line. So here I'm going to use the rectangle tool again to create this line. I'm going to do a nice yellow. And again, if that happens, you can hit edit undo and then just hit the selection tool. I'm glad that happened again, because then I was able to show you. And now I can make this very thin line to have a nice variety. Next to a thick line, you should always have a very thin line to cause that comparison there, and it makes it pop. And then you could have maybe a couple thick lines, but remember, I am changing all my lines thicknesses here with these arrows and the two side arrows down here. All right, so that is that. So I'm going to hit the selection tool just to make sure I'm off that. I'm clicking on another color. I'm going to use like pink again. And maybe I have a really much thicker line like this in comparison to that yellow really thin line. As you can see, it is turning out really nicely, my design, and I can go back and change anything that I want by clicking on it and dragging that over like so. So there's that. I am going to click on that again, the square, change the color, see if let's do a green. I haven't done that yet. And I'm going to start it out here. I'm going to have it medium size just so that it's making sure that it's smaller. And then I'm going to speed this up a bit so that you have plenty of time to do yours. But you can see how I've done it and how I'm just using the rectangle tool. And I'm going down all the way. I'm moving vertically down the screen, but I'm building these horizontal lines. I can also copy and paste and then change the color and the size. I can also do that by clicking styles, changing the color, purple, it's nice, and then changing the thickness of the horizontal line this way. So I'm going to keep on going.